And we're live.
Hello, SHL. Number, oh God, and I did legitimately forget this time. 18, right? 18?
Let's find out.
Pretty sure 18.
I think 18's correct.
I feel good with 18.
I think you're right.
But anyway, this is Rich and Adam, and only Rich and Adam.
Yeah, not this week.
So I didn't actually say specifically what we were trying to do. We were trying to get Argar on the podcast this week, hopefully. But it didn't work out. He's quite busy and will be for at least the next couple of weeks, I believe.
We'll get him on eventually.
Yeah, so that'll happen at some point, but probably not within the next 3 or so weeks. So
yes, by the way, this is podcast number 18.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Welcome
I felt
back to the
pretty
sandwich
good about
cast.
it. My immediate reaction was unsure, and then when I said it, it sounded right. So, yeah, we got a whole bunch of question stuff going on. We're about a week, I guess, into the regular season.
Yeah, about a week or so.
Got a little bit we can talk about there, and I know our questions kind of cover that stuff too, so we'll get into that. What else we got going on? Anything interesting going on around the league?
Anything
not really, I guess.
Not really, no.
Yeah. You want to just jump into questions? I guess I don't really have anything to.
I'd like to
comment
formally,
on.
I'd like to formally apologize to the listeners. I'm eating a sandwich because I haven't eaten anything all day. So if I at all sound like there's food in my mouth, I do apologize.
I mean, we did fine last week with bigger issues, I think. So.
It's true. And it sounds already like we're going to be fine this week. So let's just jump right into it.
Yeah. So first off the bat, we got Mike Izzy, formerly Coach Biz. He says, "Hey, Rich and Adam, in your opinions, what active players have a realistic shot at making the Hall of Fame? And are there any hot takes on players who aren't there yet, but you believe will?"
Lumberg could make it easy.
Maybe. I think I'm probably a long shot.
If you hit the hits milestone, I think you're probably more likely.
The things that... So I'm actually, as of probably a couple sims ago, over 600 points career, so that's good. I'll probably hit top 40 all-time in points after this season, roughly. Maybe, I don't know, maybe 38 or so, 38th, somewhere in that area. Yeah. It's going to take me... Well, we'll talk about this a little bit later, but right now I'm like 7th all-time hits, I think, something like that. After the season, I believe I'll be 5th. And then in at least 2 more seasons, I'll be 3rd. One of the things that I think I have going for me is that I'm the all-time playoffs hits leader by a pretty big margin, by like 100 and, I don't know, maybe 80 hits at this point. I'd have to look, but it's substantial. Another thing I got going for me is all-time playoff appearances, playoff games played. I think according to the Bojo box, I'm like, I can actually pull it up here. I think I'm 3rd, but there are seasons missing, and one of those seasons is 20 games for me. So I don't think I'm 1st, but I think I'm maybe 2nd. I may be still 3rd. I don't know. So those are the kind of things that I have going for me. I think it's, maybe, possibly. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it's a long shot, honestly. I think Lundberg, with the numbers that you have up, the numbers that you're attempting to put up, and considering what you've done already, I don't think it's a long shot to assume Lundberg will make it at some point or another.
The biggest problem is I don't have... points are such a big thing, and I don't have those. I don't have any awards, really. I've got 3 DAR nominations, which is okay. I think I should probably have at least 1, probably 2 more, and 1 win. But cups, I don't have those things, so it's a problem. But anyway, let's get to some more.
Cups, though, right?
Cups, yeah. That's great and all. And, I have 7 finals appearances, which is pretty significant as well. But I don't know. Those are team things, so I don't know how much that matters. I think it matters a bit, but I think the other things that I don't have would matter more. So
it's fair. I don't want to go back on myself. I think a few weeks ago we talked about what we think should qualify for Hall of Fame, and I think I explicitly said cups shouldn't be the be-all, end-all. So
no. I think they should only really matter if you're looking at one guy who has a cup and one guy who doesn't, maybe. And even then, I mean, it's not super important, but it's one of those things could be like, tiebreaker between 2 guys, maybe kind of thing. But I don't think it's something that keeps a person out necessarily. And I think it's hard for it to be something that puts them in as well. So, but like 3 guys, super easy. Like we can just get them out of the way. It's going to be Asa, Erickson, and Garbanzo, right? As far as active players,
Yeah, that would be my take. Yeah.
and we can just kind of put those guys to the side and talk about players that are going to have some actual discussion behind them because those guys, it's kind of a given, I guess.
Let's talk.
Maybe there's some discussion within if they were all to be in the same class.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, I think someone had asked about that earlier, a few weeks back. I think, who you take of a certain number of people, and I believe Erickson, Enriquez, and Garbanzo were all in the same class.
No, they won't be because Enriquez and Garbanzo have not retired, and Erickson has. But that question we had was for Theo Kane, Bubba Nuck. Oh God, my brain. Jasper Clayton and LPF, yeah, because they're all the same class. But yeah, I think those guys are just we'll just say they're going to be Hall of Fame most likely and move on and look at the other active guys on this list. I'm actually looking at the all-time scoring leaders just to
Jason Visser,
kind of an easy list. Visser, the guys I'm looking at are Randleman, I think, as well. After that, it's hard to say because a lot of the guys that you would think off the top of your head, like at York, his career is still kind of new. He's still got a lot left to play, so it's hard to say for sure. Like if he retires right now, is he a Hall of Famer? I don't know. I don't think so. He's not even he's had some big seasons, similar to Visser. These guys they've had some big seasons, but Visser on the all-time list is actually he has over 600 points now. But that's not really that high on the all-time list. Probably awards he would get him in at this point because he's had some individually dominant seasons.
Mm-hmm. No, and that's Visser versus York. Visser's got cups.
No, one cup, or does he have two? No, he wouldn't have been with the Jets when they won their first one, which was like, God, is late S20s, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
27, maybe. I don't remember. Maybe even 25. I don't remember. I don't recall. So I don't think he would. No, because he's like an S31 guy, right? Pretty sure.
I think he's S30 or S31. Yeah.
Yeah, and they won S37, and it was a fair bit before that they had won. I'm pretty sure. Let's look at some other lists here. We can see some active guys. I want to look at the all-time hits and all-time blocks leaderboard as well. So you have this.
Halsey.
He does have the active guys picked out. What's that?
Halsey might be worth discussing. Bend over.
Maybe right now I don't see him on the all-time hits, or he is in the all-time blocks leaderboard. He's got 1,045 heading into this season, which is 19th, which is quite good. Let's see if he's on the where he's at on the points list. He's got 538 points, which is quite good for a defenseman. Is he on the? He's not on the all-time top 10 for defensemen, but he's close. He might be in the. He might make us squeeze into the top 10 all-time defensemen after this season. Maybe if not this season, like almost 100% next season.
Right.
He didn't retire, did he? I don't think so.
No. Gooney retired, but not Halsey. Yeah,
so he'll be in the top 10 of all-time defensemen scoring. Yeah, like I said, if not this at the end of this season, next season for sure. And depending on how long he sticks around, he can probably climb up into the, probably the. Oof, it's tough. It depends on how long he wants to stick around, but I don't think he could probably get higher than third. Would be my guess, because Garbanzo and Sherbluk are both, just quite a ways out. Who else we got for active guys? I already said Randleman. He's active technically as a player, but not as on the site anymore, I don't believe. I think he might be auto-retired after this season, if I'm not mistaken.
I
think that's why Calgary moved him.
I think so.
But he's way up on the all-time points. He's 12th all-time. He's got a handful of awards. So, and of course he was with Calgary for that streak of five cups. I think he was there for all 5. So
I believe so.
He's got cups. He's got individual awards. He's got the points. Makes sense.
Yeah, I think Randleman's a lock.
Yeah. The next guy I see on the all-time scoring leaders is Nicholas Scholes, who is Carlson's, the GM in
Edmonton.
uh, Edmonton.
Yeah.
That's a tough one for me. I'm not so sure. He hasn't like been excellent. Like he's got a lot of points, but he hasn't had like that one season that won him a bunch of awards or anything like that, to my memory.
I don't think so. Yes,
He's just
I
been
don't know Schultz's career numbers well enough to make an assumption
he.
about it.
I'm quite certain he was a true rookie, and he went up. He was a Portland draftee when they were the expansion team, their first draft. He was their first draft selection, I believe. I believe I'm not mistaken on that. So he's had a long career. He's same draft class as me, but he's had three more seasons. Three more seasons played than I have.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
That's tricky. He's got a cup,
which is
but
good and
individual
important.
awards, I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough because
That's
the Hall of Fame really is. I don't know. I feel like this is a question that comes up not necessarily for us all the time, but in the league in general, is whether or not Hall of Fame should be rewarding team stuff like cups, like President's trophies, or whether or not your bid for Hall of Fame should be based more on what individual stuff you did.
I mean, I think they definitely should be weighted more heavily, but you can't completely discount team
You
accomplishments
can't.
because you're part of that team,
Yeah.
and you can't put too much stock into it either. Has to be a slight consideration, but not maybe not huge, unless there's something about the circumstances surrounding it that maybe enhance it for that player slightly. Like I said with Nuck last time we had this discussion, Nuck with the 5 cups, but doing it with more than one team. I want to say 3 teams, or I might be wrong on that. It might just be 2, but I think he has cups with 3 teams, and to me that's makes them worth a little bit more
Right.
because you don't see that kind of thing as often. After that, we've got Jack Durden.
Um, I don't
He's
know
a,
about
he's
Durden, but maybe.
The case to me is similar to Scholes. He wasn't a true rookie, but I think he spent 2 years in the SMJHL. I think he's like without a doubt whatever Texas has for their honoring players, whatever kind of Hall of Fame they've got. He's 100% in for them because he's been a career renegade, I believe. No, that's not true. He was drafted by New England.
Yeah, I was gonna say I believe Durden was in New England, then to Texas.
Yeah, but I don't think he played. He might have played one season, but he might not even have been the full season. He might have gotten traded
Yeah, I mean, when people
in
think
the
of
middle of
Durden,
the
they think
season.
of Texas, and that
Yeah,
should tell
for
you
sure.
enough, right?
Yeah, whether or not that translates to SHL Hall of Fame, I don't know. I think the case is, like I said, similar to Scholes, where he's not had that one season that's been like super outstanding, where he had all these awards and kind of things. It's just been really good for a very long time. So that's tough
Yeah,
to tell.
it's tough. I mean, once you get past the obvious ones, it starts to become kind of difficult, as it should be. But it's interesting to see how many. If you look at Enriquez and Garbanzo and Erickson and even God, how did I already lose his name? Who did we talk about?
Randleman.
Yeah, and we talk about Randleman, and those 4 are pretty much locks, honestly, in one year or another. But once you get past that, I mean, even a guy like Visser, who has a bunch of great years, it's debatable whether or not he.
It'd be hard to put a guy like Visser in right now if he retired. Obviously, he's not going to. So I would expect that if his kind of trajectory continues, he's probably going to be one of those guys that at the end of his career you say, oh yeah, he's going in for sure.
Yeah, I think that's a fair statement to make.
Yeah. I think maybe with a guy like Scholes or Durden, they're going to be like, they're not going to be first ballot, but they're going to be maybe like
Third or
fourth. Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of thing. A
Yeah,
little bit further
it's
down,
tough.
I want to mention Max Wachter.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
He's got potential to, I would say, even get in a little bit sooner. I don't think he's a first ballot guy,
but maybe a
but
2.
he's a power forward guy. He's got a good number of points he's 24th all time, and I think he's like 6th all time in hits, which is really impressive.
Yeah, I think that's a solid guess because he's still got some years in him too.
Possibly, yeah.
Not nearly as many as, a guy like York, but Wagner's got plenty of time to solidify himself as a Hall of Fame candidate.
Hmm. I think his physical play. He doesn't have a lot of. I don't. Yeah, they didn't have a cup in L.A.
No, they
So I don't
didn't.
think he's got any cups, and he doesn't have. He might have a DAR.
I
Oof.
would
You
like
know
to
what?
say that he does, but I don't have the
I
awards history
actually don't
pulled up.
think so. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna go take a quick look because
I feel like he would have been nominated for one at
he's
least.
definitely been nominated, but a win, I am doubtful. Because I typically pay attention to the DAR, and I don't remember seeing him. Let's see. Yeah, he's not in there.
Wow.
He had to have been nominated at least once or maybe twice because he's had seasons where he's been a big hitter.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Let's see if we got any other interesting ones that jump out here. There's not a lot of guys that are active in that all-time hits or all-time shots blocked list. Of course, that's not the entire list. It's only the top 20. So it's harder to gauge that. And then points wise, take another quick look here. There's nobody that jumps out. Nova maybe, and he's got a ways to go. He's tied for 71st right now, or as of last season, tied for 71st all time in points, which isn't bad.
Right.
Let's see. And Joe K is lower than I would have expected. I feel like he's been really good for. Maybe it's my imagination, but it feels like he's been good for a long time, and I would have expected to see him a little bit higher.
I think that's the Calgary effect, honestly. Calgary's been good for a really long time, and so I think in our minds, people that play for Calgary must be
Yeah,
doing good.
that's possible. I don't know. There's nobody else on that list that jumps out. We already got kind of mentioned York. I think he's a possibility.
I don't have a list, so I'm just kind of running through the Rolodex in my head.
Yeah, there's nobody in here that jumps out that I'm really wild about. Like, yeah, this is going to be the one. Any hot takes for players who will be there?
God, I love it when you speak like that to me.
Uh,
Any hot takes? I'm trying to think of who a kid is right now that is totally never gonna make it, but I
Hold on,
want to
I
put a
gotta look.
long
I gotta
shot
look
on
something up
anyway.
really quick. Oh god, I gotta find this. I've got one, but I just don't know his player name.
Fair. I'm trying to think of, yeah, I'm really trying to think of a kid that definitely isn't gonna make it, but I want to just throw something crazy out there.
Oh god.
Mikhail Lakitinov, first ballot Hall of Fame. Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh yeah. ML. I totally forgot about him. I was gonna talk about him a little bit later.
God,
Because
like for
of
real?
things. Yeah. Because just regarding Toronto stuff, because
Oh,
I
okay.
think the Toronto stuff's gonna come up a little bit later.
Yeah, Mikhail Lakitinov, first ballot Hall of Fame. That's definitely gonna happen, and I'm not bullshitting you.
Okay. Sure. Why not? I have to find this name. I'm sorry. This is happening. Gareth Rush. There we go. There's your Hall
Nice.
of
There,
Famer.
that's a hot take. That's a real hot take.
Lock. Yeah. It's
First
happening.
ballot?
I don't know. Let's say second. Give him a
That's,
little bit of
yeah,
wiggle room.
That's fair. Gotta let him live up to it.
Yeah.
That's a great take. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, he's got the personality, right? He's going to draw a lot of attention to himself.
It's true. He's gonna grow the
He's going to have to do
game.
a little bit less on the ice because all of his off ice is going to get that attention. So he's going to have spotlight on him. There you go.
Gareth Rush wants to grow the game. That's a great take. That's a great way to start.
Yeah. We got anything else we want to talk about there?
No, I think with that we can safely move forward from that topic.
Yeah, thanks, Izzy. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Iz. I'd like to point out, just doing a quick time check, finished Izzy's question. We are at 20 minutes.
Really?
Strap in,
Is that
folks.
real?
Tonight's going to be a long one.
God, that was a mistake. Oof. I mean, hey, the last Big Slappy Hour was almost an hour 50 minutes, so
It was,
we got
the
something to live
last
up
Big
to,
Slappy
right?
was 2 hours, so like, if we can come close, that'd be neat.
The first podcast I did with Akamai, we went like for an hour 40.
That's pretty good.
And and so that's how we got the name, which was Too Long Didn't Listen, because that was the first comment that got posted by, I think it was Jenny after we
Yeah, that
posted
sounds like Jenny.
the
Yeah.
first. Yeah, yeah. So that was the name of that. So yeah, we're on our way.
Let's live up to that. Yeah.
Hmm.
You want to
So
move forward?
next,
You want to move on then?
yeah, let's get to Argar here.
The
So
guest that should have been.
yeah. Fortunately, was not. Oh crap! Did I close out? No, there it is. Okay, good. Because we're gonna need some index business here.
Yeah, it's
So
true.
yeah, he says Jax Idocalio of the Rage is at a point per game right now as a rookie. Can he keep it up and win the Jester?
No.
I
No.
need to take a look at the other guys that are, because we've had at least one sim since this happened, and he's still a point per game.
Yeah. Flat. A point per game flat. Yeah. No, he won't win it.
It's really tough because you've got the other guy who's right in there with him is LaShawn King, and they're both like in very similar circumstances where they're on bad teams, so they're playing a lot
Yeah.
of minutes and being relied on to actually get points. Where that's not typically the case with rookies.
The difference between LaShawn King and Manhattan or LaShawn King and Jack Sidicalia right now, though, is that San Francisco's still shit. And I think that because of that, I think this is a horrible take, but I'm going to say it anyway. I think that Manhattan being as good as they are right now is inflating Idocalia's numbers. I think
Maybe.
when they inevitably crash, he will probably slow down.
So I'm seeing two things really quick when I look at their numbers, which appear to be pretty similar in terms of playing time. I think King's getting a couple more minutes, maybe a minute and a half more per game.
Yep.
But their shooting percentages are actually, Idocalio is at about 9 and some change. Where was it at? Of course, I went away from it. 909. So basically 9%. Whereas LaShawn King's is at 7.3.
King's taking more shots.
Yep, King's shooting a little bit more. What's he at? Of course, there's too much scrolling between the two. Yeah, King's taking like 7 more shots, 8 more shots. So I think we'll see Kings go up a little bit, and we'll see Idocalios go down a little bit. But I don't know that he could. I don't think he'll stay at a point per game, but he's going to have a good season relative to a rookie season. Absolutely, yeah. Because there's just nobody else on that team really to score a lot, and I think especially with a GM's player and a GM like JY that probably knows better than a lot of people what they're doing. He's going to be able to, he's going to be able to get some production out of his player.
Yeah, I think that's I guess I should say I don't think Idacalia will keep the pace up, but I don't necessarily even know that I think he'll win the Jester, but he'll definitely be in contention for it. It's early. I don't want to make a pick about that this early.
Yeah, it's really hard to say. If King wasn't as close as he is, then this early I would kind of be inclined to say yes. But because King's right there with him and it is so early, it's a toss up at this point. He can potentially keep it up, but I don't expect him to. The question I think will be is whether or not he wins the Jester. Does King keep it up as well, or does King do they keep pace, or does one fall off? Does one gain a little bit? What happens there between those two?
Yeah, I definitely think that's the question worth asking, is if they're both going to keep that pace up. But we'll see. It's only been 13 games.
Yeah. So then he says, speaking of rookies, does the rookie all-star team matter that much, considering almost none of the rookies in the game are true rookies, and the active ones are almost always listed on the team?
No, all-star team doesn't really mean much in general, I think.
It means a little bit. I don't know. You are at a substantial disadvantage for things like awards or like rookie all-star selection when you're a true rookie, for sure.
Absolutely.
But I don't know. I don't think it. I don't want to say that it doesn't matter, but it certainly doesn't matter as much as the other all-star selections, because you have those discrepancies in TPE and playing time, and there's a lot that can potentially affect how well a rookie plays in their rookie season, or even how much of a rookie they are relative to the other rookies. Like when I came in with 4 seasons in the SMJHL, I had way more TPE than any of the other rookies. So obviously I'm at an advantage, and it's just a different thing when I'm, you know, sort of competing against somebody who's, maybe got 300 TP and I've got nearly 800 in
Yeah,
my rookie
it's
season.
it's definitely way different because true rookies just don't exist anymore. Because no team is going to take one on because you're putting yourself at an
Eh,
immediate disadvantage. I think.
LaShawn King though,
Is he a true
right?
rookie? No.
Yeah, pretty, isn't he? Am I insane?
Yeah, because yeah, you definitely are.
No, he wouldn't be. Yeah, you're right, because this was the draft class after him. That's right.
I was gonna say, hold on a minute. I went through a whole thing where Nor traded for LaShawn King and like traded away like a fourth and got him in his
Yeah.
second year juniors. I was like, hold on a minute, hold on.
Is is Ido Kallio a true rookie? He might
I
be.
believe so.
Yeah, he's S43 draft class. So yeah,
That's pretty nutty.
but again, that's the thing of it's a GM's player, which, like it or not, that's a thing. GM's
Yeah, it's
players,
a GM's
the GMs
player
put
on
themselves
on a shit team. So
tend to put themselves in positions to be more successful. I think. I don't. I'm not saying that GMs are, you know, just trying to run up the points on their players, but I feel like they probably do tend to put their players in a better position, their position to succeed a little bit more than they might another player. And then it's the fact that, again, it's Manhattan, so who's going to score on that team? I don't know.
exactly. Yeah, it's just one of those situations where it's the perfect storm for Ida Kallio to be a true rookie compared to other people.
Hmm.
And of course he's gonna look good because Manhattan's a shit team. That's just the way it is.
Yep.
Although they're not playing like they're a shit team.
Yeah, I need to look at where they're getting scoring from, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. One thing I do want to say about the rookie all-star team is that I like it for potentially recognition of newer members of the league. I don't mean we should, tailor it to favor newer members, but I like that kind of incentive that they can potentially, we can potentially reward these newer players, newer people in the league, kind of relatively early in their career, give them something to kind of look forward to, possibly. So I like that idea. But outside of that, I don't know that it matters a ton.
Yeah, no, it's a good honor thing for young guys and people who are new to the site, but it's not so important.
Mhm. So next, it says talk about the regular season. What's going on with Christian Eriksen and his bounce back year? Do you think at this point he will be able to beat Enrikinen in the race to 1,000 points?
Yes, I do.
It's I haven't looked to see if this last sim affected it.
Let's check out right now.
Because this is Enrikinen did not score. Because this would have been before this morning's sim when Argar posted this.
Right.
And at the time of the posting, Enrikinen was at 995 and Ericsson was at 991. Now,
Right.
for a little bit of context, that's like it looked like Enrikinen was like gonna, hit 1,000 points, maybe 10 games into the season. After
But that
the
isn't
end of
what
last
happened.
season. No, because obviously end of last season, Enrikinen was at 994.
Yeah.
And Ericsson was at 983. And Ericsson's he may have had more after this. Let's find out where Ericsson's at. Toronto. Where you at? So he scored. He did add
He
a point.
did score today, yes. So he's
So
at
he's at
992.
992. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if Asa keeps lagging the way he has been and Eriksson keeps up a steady pace, he'll beat Asa to 1,000.
Yeah, it's tricky. Eriksson is playing on Toronto's third line right now, and the third line is actually playing really well.
Quite well, yeah, because your third line is what? Him, Vicarian.
No, it's actually not Vicarian.
Is
Vicarian's
Vicarian
first
second line? Vicarian's first line?
Yeah,
That's nutty.
Our third line is Mercer Church, who's an inactive kind of 600 TPE maybe center. Blabber Banana Storm, who's peanut butter, I believe.
Yes, it is.
Right on that. And then Christian Eriksson on the other
and
wing.
He's also got. I guess they aren't really running their fourth line, are they?
No, and it's really just kind of a junk line of York, Eriksson, Lukitinov. So
because why not? Yeah.
And then what do we got on Calgary? So Enrique in second line with Kerchewski and Mikolina, which on paper should be a strong line.
I was
That
gonna say
should
on paper that should be Calgary's strongest line.
yeah, and that's the kind of line where I think you would expect Enriquez to get points just by virtue of those other two players being good and just him kind of lucking into an occasional assist kind of thing. And that's just not happening. Well, how is Joe K is doing well? How's Lena doing? Lena's doing all right as well, but for whatever reason, Mesa has one assist.
It happens sometimes though. Sometimes that's just the way it goes. You just don't have very good sim luck for a bit.
Yeah, it's. I'm sure it's a chemistry issue between the players, and with since Ericsson's a little bit more on the level of the players he's playing with on his line too, he's going to be a little more involved, I think. Whereas you get Enriquez with guys of the quality of Lena and Kerchewski, it's just like they're doing all the work and he's just kind of hanging out, sort of, because they're just so much
That's
better.
a fair assessment.
So I think that's kind of what's happening. I wouldn't expect it. I would have pegged Enriquez to have that, like I said, within 10 games of this season. I think Eriksson had kind of given up, and then in the Toronto Discord, he said earlier, or maybe a couple sims back, he was kind of like, maybe I shouldn't have retired after all because the way this season was going. But yeah, it's going to be a tight race. But yeah, I think if things keep as they're going, it's going to be Eriksson by a hair.
Yeah, by the hair of the dog, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Which is neat.
It's kind of cool. It's kind of interesting to see that. Yeah, it's interesting to see it play out the way it has, though. And if that is the case, it's just kind of, yeah, it'll be kind of neat.
It feels exciting, and that's what's really cool about it.
Yeah. So yeah, there's not a whole lot else to say there, I guess, huh?
Not really. No, good questions though.
Yeah.
Worth talking about.
Mm-hmm. All right, next we got Slappy. Get this. Okay. So yeah, well, he's actually first replying to the post I made about potentially bringing in the guest. But Slappy, for real though, if you want to come on, I replied, but I kind of I don't know if it tagged him or not because I know he's been online since then, and I kind of like had to delete a bunch of stuff out of his quote because I didn't want to quote that whole post. Yeah. So I don't know if it tagged him or not. So I don't know if he saw it. But but for real, if you want to come on, Slappy, we would love to.
That'd be a good guest. That'd be a fun guest.
Yeah. So anyway, he says, so Lundberg seems to be striding through the league in a manner reminiscent of Godzilla striding through Tokyo and laying waste to all he encounters. To what do we owe this early season renaissance? Will this hold up throughout the season?
Yeah, I mean, you're having a hell of a season start here.
Yeah, I went pointless the last two games, unfortunately. Our last two games, our last sim was bad. Up until this point, we've had really, really good sims. This last sim was really bad. We had one backup goalie game against Manhattan where we got beat 5-1, and then we had one normal goalie game against Hamilton where we got beat 5-1. So not great. And I didn't have a point in either of those games, although I did have a handful of hits. I think 7 between the two. But I think part of it is the line combination that they have worked out in Toronto. It's not my ideal scenario, and this will factor in a little bit later when we get to Luke's question, I think. But I'm not hitting like I would like because I'm sharing a line with York, but I am benefiting from what is probably the York effect, whereas I'm getting more points than I probably should. Because I think I'm at, well, and the goals have come at strange times. So I have 4 goals and I have four game-winning goals. So all my goals have been winners, which is weird.
But impressive nonetheless.
I'm also shooting 11%, which is high because I have 80 scoring now after this last bit of regression. So that's going to come down, I would expect. I don't know. I think maybe Lundberg stole York's soul because York is not having a good season so far. And that's where it's coming from. I can't really explain it any other way. Yeah. Yeah, it's just luck. Just luck. And We'll see. I noticed that who was it? I think it was ML said something about being extremely happy with picking up Lundberg in the last pick on fantasy, and I nearly did as well, but I don't have any faith in his ability to score anymore. And I
Yeah,
think
that's
the
fair.
scoring that has happened to this point is a bit of a fluke, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm not confident. So yeah, there you go. He also says both your teams are off to tremendous starts. He's talking about Toronto and Hamilton.
I don't know where he's fucking. I don't know what Hamilton team he's watching.
Is it actually? I don't even know where Hamilton's at. I thought. Oh, that's right. They're out of the playoffs right now.
Yes, we are.
How do they do it leading up to this point? Because I haven't paid attention at all. Well, I get. Well, no, you guys got a point there in that previous loss. Yeah, you guys did not start off
Yeah.
all that hot. I don't know.
I don't actually know why we are not in a playoff spot and Buffalo is.
What's the points? Where are we at?
What's the measure after regulation overtime wins?
I don't remember. Oh boy.
Because if it's goals for, then we should also still be in there.
Yeah, no, it's oh, no, I don't know what it is after that because I would have gone. Wonder what the like their divisional record is. Or if
Oh,
it's that,
yeah, maybe it's a
maybe.
divisional record. Yeah.
Where do we find that? Oh boy. Pro team stats over there. Can we even see that in a way that? Oh god, I don't even know where to find that. What is this? Yeah, I don't know.
Not that important. It's only 13 games in the
Yeah,
season, but
after ROW, I don't know where it goes.
that said, I would far from call Hamilton having a tremendous start. It's been rough.
Yeah, actually didn't notice where you guys were at until just now. So I think you guys are probably still having. Let me take a look at the old standings here. Where are we at? That's got to be on account of goaltending, right?
Maybe.
I mean, goals against, that's not too high, but I got to think it's higher than you would like because your team should be able to score a lot. So 42 goals for is no surprise.
Yeah.
And given that you're a better differential than Buffalo, I got to think it's also just some kind of bad luck the way the goals have fallen in terms of like, you know, what this particular game you guys played badly, and so the differential was, a little broken because of that, or I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not that worried about it yet, though.
Hmm.
There's
Yeah, but I mean,
plenty of
it's
other
still
stuff
so
to worry
early.
about.
Yeah. And when I look at those things, especially this early, looking at differential to me is kind of more indicative of where the team's going to end up than, than actual record right now. To me, that this indicates that Buffalo probably shouldn't be, and you guys probably should be in the playoffs. Of course, then you got Manhattan with a plus 12 goal differential. So who knows?
I had no idea what's going on with Manhattan. Not a
No,
clue.
but as far as Toronto, I think I think ML's done a good job putting the lines together. We are getting some luck, certainly. McFadden's playing outstanding. We're still best goals against in the league. I know his save percentage was like 9.3 something a little earlier. I'm sure it's gone down for the last couple of sims, but we're just playing good defensive hockey. As far as
You're getting pucks deep, getting pucks in the net, and playing some hockey, or
yeah, he says where did we go here? Where did so are they for real? Toronto is for real in that they are a playoff team, but they're not for real in that they're going to win the East. I think. I think we're good enough to make the playoffs. I don't think we're going to win the East like we're in the position to right now. And then as far as Hamilton, I think they're a playoff team as well. I don't think they're going to finish out of the playoffs. I don't think they're going to win the East either, but I think they'll be in the playoffs.
I hope so.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be nice.
Do either of the teams have what it takes to make a serious cup run? This is my issue with Toronto. Is since we're winning by virtue of good defensive hockey, limiting shots against, having good goaltending, I feel like it's a little bit harder to win that way in the playoffs. And so I have less confidence in that style of play in the playoffs than I do in the regular season. I think in the regular season it's fine, but I want to be able to win games in the playoffs by scoring. I don't like playing defensive hockey.
That's
And
fair.
in STHS, I feel like I've done that on a bunch of teams, and we always seem to lose in the playoffs when we're trying to win that way.
Yeah, I mean I feel like that's standard. Is you got to shoot in this sim. It doesn't really like when you're not shooting.
Yeah, it's great to be able to limit shots against it. That's great, but you also have to kind of on the counter to that, you have to be able to shoot a lot and score a lot. And if we've won a lot of our games by 1 goal, that's why our differential is not great. Part of that is because we had -8 over the last 2 games, um, but even prior to that, we had won like I said, a lot of 1 goal games, and it's a little close. So I'm not super comfortable about our ability to make a cup run, but I am confident we should, I think, make the playoffs.
Um, yeah, much as I'd like to say that Hamilton will make a cup run, it's just not going to happen. It,
It's tough. You have to hit. Christ has to get hot, I think, at the end of the season and going into the playoffs. If that
agreed.
happens, you guys could absolutely make a run because you've got the offense, you got the skaters, you got all the skaters in the world. But it's like it's so much of it rests on Christ.
Yeah, it's rough. Hamilton has the tools. I just don't think that they're going to be able to make use of them in an effective way to win the cup.
Mhm.
So we'll see, though. You never know.
Yep.
Playoffs changes everything.
Mhm. I'm gonna take a look really quick at the teams that are. It's like the playoff picture right now is really weird
It's weird. It's pretty
in
nutty.
both conferences. Um, I mean, Edmonton makes sense, sure. LA, they're probably a playoff team, so I don't really have a problem with them. But Seattle, Texas is like, I don't think so, but maybe. And then the East is similar. Toronto, probably a playoff team, but certainly not first. West Kendall's good, sure. Manhattan, what? And then Buffalo, probably a playoff team as well, but they're not playing super great with that -3 and allowing 44 goals. Shout out to 4-4. And yeah, and then Hamilton and of course Minnesota, New England are I think probably most likely to be out of the playoffs. Maybe Minnesota makes a push when they get their stuff a little more figured out and they learn to score again.
Yeah, I don't know. It depends on things falling into place. Yeah,
Hmm. Yeah.
and the East is always tough.
Hmm.
So we'll see, though. I think it'll be a damn interesting race going forward here.
Yeah. You want to move on?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Yeah. So he's got one for you.
Oh yeah, hey, what's up? Slappy says, Adam, I lived in Philly for 5 years as an adult, and my dad actually grew up there. What area do you live in? I live in University City because I go to university. Um, we're
That's
just
convenient.
yeah, right. Um, we're right across the bridge from Center City, so it's like a 10-minute walk into downtown. But I live across the bridge, closer to West Philly. I'm about like if you walk like 8 blocks west of my apartment building, you're like in deep West Philly, which can get kind of scary at night. But yeah, I live in University City. He says, do you ever visit the Chinatown area? There was a guy there that made hand-drawn noodles fresh in front of you and served them immediately in your dish of choice. It was cool. It was crazy good and amazing to watch, and I used to eat there all the time. I do go to Chinatown relatively often. There's a market that I go to that I get fresh soba noodles from, because I like to do a lot of cooking and like stir fries and like homemade ramen.
Nice.
You can make a really really nice homemade ramen just boiling away like pork shoulder and shit. So I go to Chinatown a lot for the markets more than anything else. It's nice down there. I mean, it's just fun to walk around downtown. There's a couple of Korean places outside of Chinatown that make real good fried chicken, which I know is like Korean fried chicken, yeah.
Mhm.
But no, it's tight. It's real tight down there. any cool or unusual neighborhoods or particular places you've discovered. I mean, Philly's nice because there's so much shit just tucked away in places. Um, there's this little street, about 8 blocks up from my apartment building in Center City. But when you're walking down it, there's no it's like just a big empty parking lot and like a blues bar. And it weirdly reminds me of Nashville for some reason. And so my roommates and I have come to call it the Nashville Street. But I think my favorite spot in Philly is First Unitarian Church, which is this little venue, like a 5-minute walk from my apartment. This production company puts on shows in the basement of a church, and it's awesome. It's like a 350 person, bring your own beer, just hang out in a basement for 3 hours and see a show. And like, it sounds great for being like the shitty basement of a church, but it's super tight. It's a great little venue. It's probably my favorite spot in Philly. The obvious ones like hanging around Thomas Paine Plaza is cool. Hanging out at Love Park's cool. Going to City Hall is cool. But I kind of like just turning on to like Sansom Street or like Spring Garden and then just walking around and trying to find neat little alleyways to dip off and have a cigarette in or something. I don't know. Philly's a maze, man. Philly's a maze. And there's a lot of really, really cool shit you can find just walking around.
I've never actually been to Philly.
It's a great city if you stay in the right spots. If you go to the wrong spots, it's not really that nice a city.
Yeah, I suppose. Wouldn't mind checking out the place the Flyers play at some point.
Oh, Wells Fargo, yeah.
Yeah, outside of that, I don't know what else I would see. I'm sure there's stuff to see, but I just don't know what kind of stuff that would be.
Yeah, I mean, like doing like Liberty Bell and
yeah, the normal touristy kind of stuff. But
Reading Terminal Market. I mean, they got everything in there, but yeah, I mean, it's a great city to visit if you have the opportunity to. I love living in it. It's just a cool place to be. And the music scene's nutty.
Yeah,
there's a lot of house shows always happening. A lot of bands that if you're into the right scenes, they all kind of come from here. Like, I don't know how much pop punk you listen to, but like Modern Baseball. I don't know if you've ever heard of Modern Baseball.
I think we might have talked about this last week or maybe off air or something, because the pop punk sounds very familiar.
Yeah, Modern Baseball. They went to my university. So a lot of like pop punk bands out of Philly. But the whole city's crazy. It's a cool place to visit, and it's a really cool place to live. If you're ever in town, hit me up. We'll get drinks.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, I mean, like, if you've got some crazy places that you remember from your time here, let me know. I'd love to hit it up. You could tell me next week on the podcast, Slappy.
Yeah, if you want to come on, which, we'd love.
It'd be great. It'd be cool.
No pressure.
Lots of pressure. I'll never love you again if you don't do this.
Oh, wow.
I gotta be angry at somebody tonight, and Luke hasn't shown up in the questions yet, so...
Oh, he's coming.
Oh, good.
Yeah, he's next, actually.
Good, I got someone to yell at.
He's got some choice words for you as well.
Oh, good. I'm good on that, though. We can move on. Thanks for the questions, Slappy. That was a good one.
Yes, as always. We love you guys and your big Slappy Hour.
It's a great... It's definitely the best podcast on the site.
They did... because I think somebody asked them who they thought the smartest podcast, on currently was, and they shouted us out. So I appreciate that.
That's hype. I mean, Rich is the smart one.
No, see, I don't think of myself that way. I just think that I try to be thoughtful, and that's it. I don't think I'm smart, but I try to, like I said, be thoughtful about things.
Rich is an intellectual.
No.
I just yell.
Far from it. But thank you, we appreciate it.
Yeah, much love always. We could do one day. We'll do a big Slappy Rich and Adam crossover special.
Something. We'll have to do something, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Let's move on then
Yeah.
to Luke, who says, "Hi, how's Lundberg's hits going on, and is it up to your standard?"
No, it's not, unfortunately. I think I'm on pace for about 150, which is not great.
Not terrible either, though.
But
Not what you want.
No, I can't complain too much, and I made kind of my intentions clear with them anyway before signing. So I can't fault them for running the team the way they're running it right now because we're winning, and yeah, everything's going well for the team. So I can't. But the fact is that I told them that the closer to 200 I get, my goal is 185 to 200, and the higher up I am on that kind of scale, the more likely I am to resign. So the reality is I am a lot less likely to resign if I'm going to be on pace for 150. So that's that. Not that I won't stick around, just it's maybe less likely. We'll see.
It's something to think about.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. But yeah, it's not. I'm not actually. After this sim, I might be up a little bit because, like I said, I had I think 7 hits between the 2 games, which is pretty decent. Let me take a quick look here. What am I at here? 43. What's that? 3.3 per game. So yeah, still about 150. A little over 150. Yeah. It's fine. It's not. The problem is if I'm below 185, averaging 185 over the next 3 seasons, then I have to play a fourth if I want to hit 3,000, and I'm not.
Right.
And like I've said it before, I'm ready to retire. I just want to get this out of the way before that.
Exactly. No one can blame you for that.
So there you go. He also says, anything new going on in life?
Nah, man. I
Not
mean,
really.
I booked my train ticket home for next week because
How long of a trip is that?
For me, it depends on the way I go. If I'm going from Philly to Harrisburg and then back down to Maryland, it's about an hour and a half train to Harrisburg and then an hour drive to Maryland. But I'm taking the train from Philly to DC, and that's about an hour, 2-hour trip. And then I'm in DC for an hour on layover, and then I take a train from DC to Harper's Ferry, and that's about an hour train ride, but it's also only like a 20-minute drive from my house, so it's kind of a trade-off. It's probably the same each way, about 3-4 hours, but add an extra hour layover in DC.
Yeah. It's not too bad.
No, it's not terrible. Not cheap. Going DC to Harper's Ferry's like... Well, I mean, I didn't pay anything this time because I paid with my reward points, but normally it's about an $80 trip one way, and to go to Harrisburg 2 ways is, I think, $70. So that's new.
Yeah.
I booked my train ticket home.
Well, that's cool. You going for anything in particular, or just a visit?
Thanksgiving.
Visit?
Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Technically, Thanksgiving break doesn't start until the 20th, but I'm going home on the 16th because I have Fridays off, and I have Tuesday of Thanksgiving week, no classes, and Monday, the one class I do have, I'm saying fuck it and not going because I just don't care that much.
Yeah.
I can afford to take one 4-hour lecture off.
Oh yeah, sure.
So that's the only thing new with me.
Yeah, I don't really have anything interesting going on. Just another week. Yeah. Not doing anything for the holidays coming up. For Thanksgiving rather. Although there's a chance so I'm in Wisconsin and like a couple hour drive from Madison.
Right.
And there's a convention there. I don't remember what it's called. It's like one of these general kind of comic / nerdy convention things.
Hell yeah.
But I might be going to that. Depends on the circumstances. But I guess William Shatner's going to be there, and my mom wants to go see him. She's got his book, I think.
Yeah, who doesn't want to see Shatmeister, honestly?
Yeah, so she's hoping to get it signed. So depending on the weather, we might try and make that trip. She's a couple hours. No, not a couple hours. That's way off. She's about an 8-hour drive from me. So
damn. Okay.
Yeah, so it's not like a simple thing to get this accomplished. So So I don't know if it's going to happen yet. We'll see. Kind of depends on weather because we're starting to hit that. It just started snowing here, so there's potential it could be quite hairy.
Oh, that's
On
true. I
top of
guess
already being a long trip. So
it's that time of year for you, I guess. It doesn't fucking
mhm.
snow here until like January. All we get is rain and wind.
Hmm.
It's the worst.
Yeah, it's no fun. Cold rain is. I mean, snow sucks, but cold rain is miserable.
Cold rain's hell. It's the
It's like,
worst.
yeah, I always when I was in Northern California, that's what it did there. Instead of like snow, it would just rain all winter long. And it's like I don't know, it's like it like seeps into you. It gets like
Oh, it goes right to your bones, man.
yeah, I guess it's cold in a different kind of way that's just I don't know, it's just different.
Yeah,
Different kind of horrible.
snow cold you can bundle up against. When it's raining and soaking into your jacket, you can't get rid of that.
Yeah. That's no fun.
Nah, that's Philly though.
Oh, and then he's got a third thing for
Yeah,
you.
right. Hey, fuck you, Adam. Oh, little baby thinks he can use words that make me angry, huh?
I mean, it seems to have worked.
I know where you
My
fucking live, Luke.
Jesus.
It's funny because I just clicked into the Vancouver Discord and he's complimenting me.
It's mixed messages coming from Luke.
Yeah, I don't know what he wants.
Well, at any rate, Luke, I appreciate your listenership. I don't know how Adam feels,
I
but
don't. Fuck you. Drop dead.
oh boy. Yeah, moving on.
This is it, huh? This is what I've amounted to. Yeah, moving on to Bonk.
Bonk, yeah. The other half of the Big Slappy Hour.
Yeah, I love when they both ask questions because it makes me feel like they listen.
I have to say, I've been really bad about asking questions to them,
Yeah, same.
and I can't ever think of anything interesting because it's a lot of the same, same questions every week, and
Yeah.
unless I'm asking something that I'm genuinely interested in that's unique and I'm looking for a different perspective. I don't know. It just feels like I'm giving them busy work, and I don't like.
Yeah,
I
I
know that's the
know.
point. Like that's the whole goal here is just to crank out minutes for money. But I don't feel good about asking a question
Yeah,
if I'm just
no.
asking it to I don't know. So I'm sorry, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what to say.
No, I'm with you though. I feel bad just giving them a generic question. If I'm going to ask them something, it's got to be something I genuinely want to hear their opinion on.
Right.
A while ago, I think I asked him about a bunch of shit, but more, I think the one I was most interested in was like, what kind of music, movies, TV shows have you guys been into lately? And then
Hmm.
listening to Slappy talk about La La Land for like 10 minutes was amazing because I was like, that's a great movie. I'm really impressed. That's awesome.
I actually haven't seen that yet because I'm still
That's a few
lazy
episodes
about that kind
back.
of stuff.
But,
I mean, yeah,
oh, the
yeah.
movie. Yeah, yeah.
The
No, the
movie,
movie's
yeah.
really good. La La Land's a great film. Super fun. Just, it makes you smile.
Hmm.
But like that's the kind of shit I like. Is I like hearing about what people. Fuck, I'm a music critic. Of course, I like hearing what kind of music people listen to.
Well, yeah,
But
and then Lepish has been asking about movies, so they've been doing a lot of movie talk lately, too, which I like. Um, I'm not super into movies, but I've got some particular movies in particular that I really enjoy, and so it's interesting to hear kind of some of the things they talk about
yeah, I
movie
agree.
wise.
I mean, it's weird because I get it that this is an SHL podcast. It should have something to do with the SHL, but I almost always like it more when podcasts just start talking like a podcast rather than an SHL podcast.
Right. Well, I mean, I think especially with anything like this, you can only do so much in terms of staying on topic with the SHL because we're people, so we've got stuff we like, stuff we want to talk about, stuff we are interested in, and those if you're suppressing that, it's just not as interesting.
Yeah, it just gets boring.
Yeah, no personality.
That's why I've actually been kind of enjoying the siege questions that pop up every now and again because that's something I'm passionate about. So it's cool to talk about. Ask me more about Destiny, you fucks.
Are you still playing that? Is that
Yeah,
what's going on?
always. It's like a fucking cancerous growth, Rich. I can't get rid of it. I just gotta grind, and I've been fucking doing this quest for a gun that in one of the game modes you kill enemies and they drop these little motes of light. And so one of the steps in this quest is to deposit 400 motes of light in the bank. Now, when you get killed in this game mode, you lose however many motes are on you at the time, right? So if you carry in 10, you lose 10. So this fucking quest is deposit 400 motes in the bank. But any motes that you lose count for double against the total number of motes you've deposited.
Oh, so if you've got 10 on you, it takes 10 out of your bank then?
If you've got 10 on you, it takes 20 out of your bank.
Oh, geez. That's kind of harsh.
So that is, I've been taking a break from Destiny because of that quest specifically.
Yeah, it seems like quite the grind. I mean, especially if it's very difficult.
Yeah.
That's like kind of Dark Souls-esque.
Very, very.
In like the how unforgiving it is, or it sounds anyway.
Yeah, that's about the only game I play. I mean, I've been playing The Witcher again. I've been playing Witcher 3 again. And I play Monhun because I've got that and I need to grind up for the Autumn Festival.
What?
But
what's that?
Oh, Monster Hunter.
Oh, Monster Hunter. Oh, I've never heard it called that before. Huh. which is actually hunting today, which is nice.
I need to keep grinding up. I gotta get in shape for the Autumn Fest. I know, didn't a new hunt just the new raid just came out?
Yeah, the Cove Tiroth, or
yeah.
How do you pronounce it?
Fuck, I don't know.
Yeah. I did a little bit of that in the Xbox, but I'm not quite there yet. I just kind of unlocked my hunter rank, so I'm grinding up some tempereds and stuff.
Oh yeah, good idea. That's fair.
I got a decoration that I did not get on Xbox in my 200 hours or so, which is really kind of depressing.
Kind of frustrating, but
yeah. Got it. Like, I don't even know. I'm not that far in on this one, but anyway, I don't even know what we were talking about.
I don't know. Ask more about Monster Hunter, you idiots.
Jeez. Wow, calling our listeners idiots, is that the way to go here?
If I was complimenting them, they'd think it wasn't me.
Oh, all right, fair enough. So I'm looking at Bonk's little title thing, and S25 was the season that Winnipeg won prior to S37. So that confirms that.
Yes, Visser does not have two cups.
First 10 minutes of the podcast, so
I'm glad we came back to that.
Yeah, really. Did you? You said you listened to most of, at least.
Yeah, I didn't get the last like 20 minutes. I think I got to the point that they were talking about with awards and the Stevens and.
It was kind of in the middle-ish, I suppose. I don't remember exactly how far in. It wasn't in the beginning and it wasn't at the end. It was tucked in a little ways. But yeah, so he's actually Slappy had kind of mentioned this, but yeah, I don't know.
I'd like to point out the wording from Slappy using the phrase Adam-esque hot takes, and I just want to say that I'm glad that I'm now a metric for hot takes.
I mean, I don't think it was that hot, really, either.
It was a completely reasonable take.
Yeah, it's totally fair. I don't really disagree with anything he said. I do slightly maybe take issue with the idea of, because the idea that maybe shots blocked after a certain point kind of lose value because you only get so many because you're on a bad team, and that's like kind of meta knowledge to me in terms of like recognizing the sim for what it is, a sim, and we're kind of recognizing that you're getting that because of the sim mechanics and not necessarily, if in real life, I think we would value those things a bit more than we do with our knowledge that this is happening within this sim engine.
Right.
Because I don't know, I get it that you're having a ton of shot blocks can be a part, it is indicative of a bad team in like almost every case, but I don't know that necessarily devalues them that much, or that you can kind of discount them that much, because they happened. I don't know. I've struggled with that because I recognize too that most of those occur because the team's bad, like with last season and Jack Tanner and the other guy on the second pair in San Francisco. They both had over 100, and there was number 1 and number 2 shots blocked that season. I think Jack Tanner had like 120 and the other guy had like 108. And clearly that's happening because they're a bad team.
And I mean, we talk about it all the time, and people around the league talk about it all the time, but it is so... If you want to win individual awards, play for a shitty team. That's just the way it goes.
Yeah. It's not totally the rule, but it definitely helps.
So I've talked about it not on here, but in general before, about whether you should really consider some of the high stats like shot blocking, um, whether you should consider them the same value as a guy that did slightly worse on a much better team. Because yeah, maybe Jack Tanner had higher raw shots block numbers, but maybe Max Weber has 20 less on a stacked Winnipeg team. What's more impressive? You know what I mean? What's more impressive?
Yeah.
The guy blocking 90 shots on a team that doesn't spend that much time in their own zone, or the guy blocking 130 shots on the team that spends 80% of the game in their own zone?
Yeah, I just have an issue with the idea of like that if you plugged any guy into that spot, they would perform the exact same way just because the team's bad.
It's true.
And
You can't quite say
maybe
that.
well, it's actually more real within the sim. But again, I think that's something we recognize, understanding that all this is happening within the sim. But if you were to in kind of in real life imply that this guy, if you just took any other guy and put him in that position, that he's going to do the exact same thing, and that's not really the case in real life.
No.
And I think you kind of have to. It's difficult to think in those terms because it's just weird. It's a weird thing
within a sim, exactly.
Yeah,
it's tough. It's a tough question to try and come up with an answer to. It's an interesting statement in general, though, and
and this. So we're actually kind of off topic here.
it's fair.
Sort of.
We're kind of talking about it.
Yeah, the real issue is the idea that somebody who is in a potential position to win an award, kind of having an influence on who wins that award, or I mean, having a direct influence on who wins that award.
Yeah, this is the part of Bonk's statement that I agree with 140%. If you are potentially in contention for an award, you should need to recuse yourself from voting on it. Because that's such a huge conflict of interest. And I think it's Bonk that makes the statement. I don't think it's Slappy, but I think it's Bonk that says you should have somebody who can be on hand in the case that does need to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Have a backup in case someone has to vote on the Jeff Dar and they're in contention for the Jeff Dar. Have a backup in case someone has to vote on the Stevens and they're in contention for the Stevens. I think that he makes an incredibly solid point that if you are in contention, there is no way in hell you should be able to vote on it. I
feel like you could even just put it, like, kind of add that to maybe like a commissioner duty and just pull in a commissioner for like one, this one time kind of vote thing or whatever.
Absolutely. I
think it can't take that long, really. Once you got nominees kind of set up, it's just like, I don't know. I can't imagine it would take that long to get this done. And you don't necessarily need to hire somebody specifically for this. I think you just grab, hey, commissioner, we've got this issue. We need somebody to cast a ballot.
Yeah, and it does kind of get difficult in the sense of, well, do you have people who play defensemen recuse themselves from even nominating people, right? That is a different situation entirely that I think would need to be addressed differently, but I do think that in the case of voting for the award, yeah, bring in a commissioner or a neutral third party to take care of it. Because otherwise you are participating in a massive conflict of interest.
It's hard to say whether it's really had an effect on voting or not, but yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like we might as well just not even allow the appearance of anything.
Yeah, even if it hasn't happened, don't let the possibility of it happening at all exist.
Yeah, I like, yeah, you said it earlier. I don't disagree with really Bonk's major point. So agreed. I don't know how his I think part of the complaint was S33 and kind of how that was handled, and I'm not familiar enough with the that particular season to know. They went into it pretty well, I think, and kind of just explained statistically how that thing how it played out, and it sounded like he had a really strong case for, at the very least, a nomination.
Right. I will say, though, not a hot take. I'm disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, not that hot. It's maybe lukewarm take.
Here's a hot take. Here's a hot take.
Oh boy.
The awards nomination and selection system should be entirely fucking automated.
Oh god.
No human input.
Just sort by points.
Just sort by points. There's your hot take. Just let a fucking robot do it.
Oh boy.
This episode brought to you by Casper Mattress.
Is that a thing? I don't know what that is. Is that one
they,
of those
they make beds.
delivery mattress
Yeah, you
online
get it and
delivery
it
things?
shows up in a tube and then it expands.
Is this like one of those? Oh, is this one of those things like with the old Blue Apron, where it's one of those things that you just see on YouTube videos? People are getting sponsored by them.
You just see it on podcasts and then you buy one.
Okay.
Let's do some Googling for the fun of it because we totally have time to kill.
Do we? I mean, you say that, but I'm pretty sure we're over at this point, right? Enough time.
We are
time
well
to kill
over at this point.
Yeah, the right, right way to put it.
Well over. Let's see. Casper Mattress is a mattress company. You can get get a 3-layer mattress, the Essential, an intro to Casper comfort, starting at just only $350 for a mattress. That ain't bad.
I mean,
I feel like I've paid more for a mattress.
I quite sure I have. I don't remember what it was because it's been quite some time. But
now, do you want
that sounds low?
Now, the Essential is 3 layers, or you can get the Wave. Luxurious comfort and targeted ergonomic support. 5 different layers in your mattress, starting at just $1,250. Yeah, it just shows up in a box, and then you take it out and let it expand.
Are these like those like memory foam kind of things?
I don't know if it's memory foam, but they definitely vacuum pack the shit out of it.
Interesting.
I think Bonk has more questions. I don't know why
he
I
does.
went off on
He
this
actually
tangent.
does. He says, "How's fantasy going?"
I don't know.
I
have no idea.
Are you gonna make your last pick? Did you not make your last pick?
No, I don't think I can make my last pick anymore.
Yeah, because at this point it's definitely too late.
Yeah,
we had somebody
110% cannot make my last pick now.
I think Halsey missed out on our group.
I didn't get tagged, or if I did, I missed it.
Yeah, because we went into that first come first serve kind of thing for the last. And I think Halsey missed on our group too.
Yeah, I don't. The site doesn't tell me when I'm tagged in things anymore. Like, you used to get emails from JSync if someone tagged you. I don't get those anymore. So
I get. Let's see. I get them when. Oh, that's a subscribed thread.
If someone PMs me, I get it.
Yeah, and I get those too. I don't think I get emails when I get tagged, but I see the notification when I'm on the site that I've got a, what do you call it, an alert? Yeah. I guess.
But I don't check the site that often right now because I'm incredibly busy with college.
Well, I suppose that's fair.
So I will not be making my last pick because I don't think I can anymore.
Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're locked out.
Oops.
Yep. That's how life goes, I guess.
That's how it
I'm doing poorly. I'm in. So we've got a person just not even in the group anymore with Halsey missing his last pick as well. So I'm I'm 5th out of 7.
Damn.
Which is not good. I fucked up all of my forward picks, so I'm probably not.
It do be like that.
Yeah, and I've been looking for an ad drop, and there's nothing that's giving me a lot of confidence. And this is the guy or that. I have no idea what I'm going to do.
Spreadsheet and see how I'm doing.
I don't know if you're just eliminated or if it's just because you don't have the last, the one extra player. You're just probably
well.
screwed.
Interestingly enough, I'm 7th in my group.
Oh, weird. Did somebody else not make their pick, or are they just doing that much worse than you?
They're just doing worse than me. It's Avakale.
Wow. Oh, what?
Jeez. Suck it.
The man himself. Last I checked, I was actually leading the entire fantasy in shots blocked because of the way my picks worked out. I'm, of course, have shit forwards, but I have Tanner and Odegaard, so I've got a lot of shots blocked. Let's see if that's still holding up.
I feel bad for the guy that picked me in fantasy because I am not doing that good.
Yep, I'm still leading in shots blocked.
I wonder if
the rest of my team's trash.
I wonder if I could pull a fast one on Ava and just do like an ad drop. I'm dropping my forward none and replacing him with with somebody else. I wonder if I can pull a fast one on
him. Which group are you in there?
1.
Group. Oh wow, the premier group there.
Yeah, I fucked it up when I'm in group 1. I have a solid team even with 5 people.
Yeah, Bennett's doing really well. Wilson's fine. That's one of the guys I have at forward. Problem is all my forwards are just kind of and
yeah,
they're not good enough. None of them are really getting it done.
Eastwood's been having a good season.
Oh, Weber is not doing well.
No.
That's rough. That's kind of a big hit because I'm sure Weber was an early pick for you.
Late second, I think. Yeah,
Yeah, I would say second or third would be my guess, but
I think late. I think I went Bennett, then Weber, and then Wilson. Either way, I'm not
yeah.
last with 5 players, and that's hilarious. I'll take it.
I
So, but
apologize for anybody that took Chris York in fantasy. I'm
yeah,
pretty
what's
sure
up with
it's my
that?
fault. I'm pretty sure it's my fault. I'm taking all the hits, and for some reason I'm scoring more than he is.
Remind me to. I'm gonna drop Wilson for you. It might not be a horrible idea.
It's hard to tell. I do not have confidence in Lundberg's ability to continue to score at the pace he has early in the season. Although he doesn't really have to, I guess, if he gets like 35 points, and continues at like 150-ish hit pace, that's a pretty solid season for fantasy. It's not great, but it's it's probably like 260, 280, maybe somewhere in that range.
Somewhere in that range.
Probably more like 270. I don't know. It's fine, but I wouldn't count on the scoring.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I never count on anything in this league because nothing's ever a guarantee.
No. It's tough. I think we're out of questions.
That's it. That's it for
And
the questions this week.
I'm out of stuff to talk about. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think if there's anything pressing to talk about.
Ooh, what's his name? NJ Bad Apple just posted not just, but 10 minutes ago or so. Posted another Falk Talks.
Oh, new podcast. Good.
Yeah. Let's check that out, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to shout out one more thing with Slappy and Bonk.
Do it.
I think Slappy said this, if I remember right. They were talking about members who would potentially make good expansion GMs, and Slappy was potentially interested in how I would handle GMing.
Me too, honestly.
And I would say I do not want to be a GM, but I would potentially be interested in going back into like a co-GM kind of role, or just maybe even just advisory kind of role.
You got me thinking, Rich.
I do think I have some insights that people would appreciate, and I can kind of advise people on these kinds of things. But I'm not interested in being like that guy who has to make trades or has to negotiate contracts. I prefer to be on the other end of that contract negotiation, making you try to pay me.
Well, now you got me thinking, Rich. How'd you like to be a co?
I mean, I would think about it for sure, situationally for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's not like something I'm going to go out and try to, position myself into.
Yeah, I'm gonna give myself a good amount of time before I ever start GMing again. The last 9 seasons have really fucking dragged it out of me.
I mean, I don't know.
It's rewarding.
It's not why I'm here. I know some people that's kind of like their goal when they come to a league like this, is to become a GM.
Just to be a GM, yeah, no.
Yeah, it's not for me at all. I just want to have my player. I want to, do that. But it's like I said, I think I have some insights that people would appreciate and could be useful potentially. So, yeah, there you go. I appreciate the vote of confidence there, Slappy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else we should hit.
Not really. Oh, we missed this by a couple weeks, but the New England logo change.
Yeah, it's all right.
I meant to bring it up like the past 2 weeks, and I actually got a little bit of a preview of it because when what's his name Ace was trying to get me to sign there, he kind of showed me what they were about to do. It was like a day before it actually was official, so it wasn't anything like special. But it's 100% an upgrade. First of all, it's not outstanding, it's not great, but it's way better than what it was. So I'm good with it. I don't really have anything super negative
fine.
to say.
It's it's better than what it was.
For sure.
I'll take it over the military patch.
Yeah. Garbage ass wolf. Yeah, that's about it, I guess. There's nothing really interesting going on. It's regular season. It's kind of just the grind of the regular season, so there's not a ton of interesting stuff happening.
Yeah, no, we're just getting into it now,
Yeah. Going to call it a night there?
Yeah, let's do it there. As always, if you've made it this far in the podcast, I'd like to thank you for listening. We appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to thank this week's sponsor, Casper Mattresses. I'm just going to keep coming up with a new sponsor every week until one of them actually pays us.
Oh boy, I'm sure everyone appreciates it. when
Yeah,
we do that.
sure. It's definitely not a tired bit that will never get stale. Yeah, so I'm Adam, and this is Rich.
Hi.
And we'll see you next week for number 19. I think that's
Take it
right.
easy. Yeah. That's my thing.
All right.